Fox is the largest dispensary to open in the Northeast. This store is 3 floors of luxury cannabis, and it is located in Times Square.
I think as a native New Yorker, I always think, like, who goes to Times Square? Well, apparently I go to Times Square every day. That's who goes to Times Square. Not that I'm the definition of that person, but think about it. You have Barclays, you have Condé Nast, you have I guess it used to be Viacom, but I don't know if they're still here. But and you have Morgan Stanley. So there are so many companies that are headquartered in and around Times Square, and those are native New Yorkers. They may not talk about working. They'll probably say Midtown West maybe is where they might say they work, but there's a huge amount of people who are native New Yorkers who live in who work in Times Square, and we look forward to them being part of the clients and guests at Charlie Fox. And partially because I suspect that many of them may live in areas in the suburbs that have essentially blacked out or whatever the term might be, not allowed retail cannabis, such as like the North Shore of Long Island, most of Suffolk, frankly, most of Westchester. So any commuter that works at Morgan Stanley and commutes back to Nassau County, which I expect is a fair amount of people, we'd love to have them come in through Charlie Fox on their way home. We come from a background in restaurants and hospitality, and on some level, when we design restaurants, we always design restaurants that we on some level wanted to go to. And speaking as someone in a demographic of people that are slowly getting used to cannabis, seeing it as a part of their daily lives, we felt that we wanted to create and design a dispensary that felt just as home for them, maybe on Madison Avenue or on the Miracle Mile. And in doing so, would take for a lot of people the stigma, hopefully, that may exist but should not exist out of the world of cannabis. And if they came to Charlie Fox, they would feel like, oh, this looks just like the stores I buy my bags in, or my handbags, or my clothes in. So what we thought a lot about when we designed the floors was actually grocery stores, right? Because we have a 4-story building, and we have to activate 3 floors. So how do we get customers to want to come upstairs to the 2nd floor? How do we utilize the entirety of the rent that we are paying to expand and accentuate the customer experience? So first we thought about milk. In the back of the grocery store, you always put milk in the back of the grocery store. But it's kind of a weird interaction with customers. What do you say? Like, you can only buy flour upstairs? Like, I don't know, it's annoying, right? You have to go buy flour upstairs, come back and get your gummies downstairs. It didn't really make much sense. So leaning on our hospitality background, embracing this concept of what are the aspects of a luxury store. When I go into a luxury store, what I always think of is, 2 things as hallmarks. One is seating in a luxury store. Secondly is the ratio of attendees, in other words, salespeople, to the number of customers. So we also thought that since it's Times Square, there'd be a heavy amount of people who are just, for lack of a better word, maybe not interested in having a very long conversation about cannabis, much like in a way a wine store, right? You have people want to come in and talk about first growths in Bordeaux, and then you have some people who's like, look, I just want to get my bottle of vodka and go home, right? So for us, the 1st floor, the apothecary, is built for people who want a swift transaction. It's an educated consumer. They know exactly what they want. They don't need to have a sales interaction. They just want to kind of go in and go out. The 2nd floor, where our cannabis sommelier is, and it's funny because, I don't know if it's funny per se, but the word sommelier is really a butler, is really the word sommelier. It actually has nothing to do with wine originally, but it means to attend to someone. So we built this long marble bar, and our cannabis sommeliers actually will serve people from across the marble bar, and they can sit down at the bar stool and have as long or as short of a conversation as they want. So the 3rd floor is going to be a mix of, hopefully when the consumption lounge rules are revealed, it would be a mix of a consumption lounge and private event space. So Charlie actually is a nickname for Fox in Great Britain. And we like the name. Honestly, we just like the name. I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as that. Like someone said, hey, what about Charlie Fox? And we all said, oh, that sounds like a really cool name. But the etymology, we also like the fact that Charlie is both a male and female name. And keeping with that idea that we wanted a store that would make cannabis feel accessible to all different types of people, we felt having a name that was used for both men and women would be a great way to do that. And plus, I don't know, I think Charlie's just a cool name. Like, what the truth about Charlie, like, I feel like, I don't know, Charlie's just like one of those cool names.
I'm Deborah Borchardt reporting from Charlie Fox in Times Square, New York.